Afternoon, good night to all. Finish a couple things up real quick. It is your boy LB Johnson. This is Shut Up and Talk the podcast. I decided to come on here, man, because I just realized something that's kind of deep for me. I just realized that I think I'm jealous of my children. This is real. Like I think I'm jealous of my children now. Before y'all go berserk, hold on. Let me get everything. Let's see. Yeah. Now, before y'all start saying jealous of your kids, why be jealous now? It's not for the obvious reasons, not their hairline or, because they light skinned, and it can grow hair, as y'all see, I can't. Nothing like that. I think I'm jealous of my children. Not I think, I know I'm jealous of my children and I love it. I'm jealous because they have everything I never had or never had the chance to get. What do I mean by that? Mind you, I was raised in a single parent home. Daddy wasn't there. I was in my dad's life for a short time, up until the age of like 6 years old. Throughout that time, there's a lot of physical, emotional abuse. A lot of crazy things I've seen in that household. My dad had a motto, if you will, or a slogan: "What happens in my house stays in my house." Now, I'm sure y'all heard that, but at the time, my daddy said that because my daddy was very abusive to his wife as well as his children. And he didn't want us going to school telling all the business. So he told us whatever happens in this house stays in this house. And that's what we went by. That's all we knew. Uh, you know, so it was different for me, when I, lived with my mom as a single parent home. Mom struggled, all our life pretty much, until I got old enough and me and my brothers got old enough to start working and making money to help provide, for all of us. But she gave us what she could, which was a roof over our head, food in our stomachs, at times, kept the lights on. I remember one of my birthdays, that's what I got for a birthday. I got the lights cut on. Literally, she gave me the receipt for we lived in California, so they didn't have P&M, they had PG&E. And she gave me literally the receipt showing that she had paid the PG&E. And honestly, I was literally very happy. Like, that's how we grew up. We grew up, struggling. So when she said, "Hey, I paid the light bill this month," but so I didn't have money to buy y'all presents. Me and my twin TC, we weren't mad or upset. We was like, cool, we got lights. But the other crazy part was when the lights wasn't on, with some of our best times, we had crazy times. When all we had was flashlights and candles, we would have a ball. We would make all type of little crazy games and play hide and go seek in the dark. And the crazy part was our friends, right? Our folks would want to come over and hang out with us. We was open. Like, our folks knew we was all struggling and poor. So when we told them, "Hey, our lights ain't on," it wasn't like, "Ooh, your lights ain't on." They was like, "Oh, yours ain't on this week? Yeah, mom just cut ours back on last week." So, we was used to it. So we'd have folks come over, man, having straight sleepovers in the dark with no electricity. But that's what we're used to. But anyways, back to me being jealous of my kids. I see, and again, jealous is probably the wrong word, but it's the best word to help everybody understand. I love my children. I'm excited to be in a position where I can provide for my children. I'm excited to be in a position where my son the other night came in my room maybe 4 or 5 in the morning, and he said, "Daddy, I had a bad dream." And I'm used to this. It happens every once in a while. He'll come and I'll pray with him usually till he goes back to sleep. I'm jealous because that's something I never had the option to do. I didn't grow up with a dad in the house at all. I never had the option. Waking up, I had plenty of nightmares, plenty of bad dreams, plenty of times I woke up crying in the bed, but I couldn't call daddy. I couldn't go in dad and mom's room and hop in the bed. I just had to tough it out. And of course, I could always go to my mom's, and my mom's bed was like a sanctuary, man. I don't know what she did, what kind of covers and pillows, but my mama's bed was always more comfortable than any bed I've ever had to date. And I got a really nice bed. Shout out to World's Best Sleep, Cali Flay, over there on San Mateo, if you live in Albuquerque. I got an amazing bed with an amazing mattress. I feel like I'm sleeping on heaven. But no matter what, it's not as comfortable as my mother's bed was. And I believe that's because my mom's bed was a safe space. Being able to climb in the bed with my mom at any given time, even sometimes when she was sick, on oxygen, not feeling the best. I remember those times where, mind you, my mom was sick for, 15, 16 years of her life towards the end before she passed away in 2007. And I remember those times where I'd be sick with a fever or something, kind of cold or whatever. And my mom would let me get in the bed with her. Mind you, she's literally dying. She's literally sick and on her deathbed, but she's telling me, "Come get in the bed with me," and let me cuddle with her. And she wasn't worried about catching whatever I had as far as a fever, whatever. My mama just loved me until I felt better. That's what you get from a mother and a father. That's what you get from true mothers and fathers. I want to explain that. I'm not talking about sperm donors. I'm not talking about women that carry babies. I'm talking about true mothers and fathers. That love, unconditional love, is something. I'm jealous because I'm in a position now to give my children something I never got the option to give. And I love it. Let me be very clear. I'm not just as sad or mad. I'm excited. I love the fact that I'm able to give my children everything I never had, including the love, the safe space, and very soon a two-parent home. Man, first of all, that's another thing I never had. My mom was a single mother. Pops was nowhere to be found. I see my daddy 3 times in my life. Growing up until the age of about 6 years old, I seen my pops. Then I didn't see him again until I was about 32 or 34, somewhere around there. I went and seen him for a couple hours. My sister and brother surprised me. I wasn't planning on it. Ended up going to a family wedding. He was there, chopped it up, played some dominoes for a little bit. About 4 hours, he had to leave because his wife at the time got sick or something. Never seen him again till fast forward, we get notified that my dad has stage 4 cancer and he's dying. So I gathered the family up and I took my family, including my fiance, and we went out there and see my daddy. And when I went and seen him, it wasn't, I didn't go looking for answers or looking for an apology. Let me be very clear. My brothers had already kind of warned me and said, don't go out there expecting him to apologize. He's going to talk a lot about moms, which was kind of weird to me because my dad was remarried, but my dad talked so highly about my mom, even in front of his wife at the time. He would praise my mom and how great she was, but that's because my daddy did my mama so wrong. He treated my mom like a dog, okay? Abused her for many, many years. And I know he regretted that. And I know he felt some type of way. He knew what he did. So he felt bad about that. So he talked about my mom's a lot. You know, my fiance even said, she was like, man, y'all got the same mannerisms. And there's a couple pictures. You check out my social media. I got pictures from our time there. And I was able to take my youngest son. And I got a picture of me, my youngest son, and my dad before he passed. And it was a great time, man. My dad hadn't ate in a long time because of the cancer. And I was able to cook him some fish and some greens and some cornbread. And he tore it up, ate it up, man. He needed a home cooking meal, you know, and I was able to go out there and I'll be raw. You know, at the time I owned a herbal essence business. And so I took some good herbal essence out there for my daddy and he enjoyed it. And he ate what his wife at the time said for the first time in a long time. He was able to keep some food down and eat. And I was excited for that. But I got the closure I needed because I didn't go expecting. And that's the first thing, man, I want to tell everybody that's listening. You know what? Forgiveness is not for the person you forgive. Forgiveness is for you. When you forgive somebody, that takes it off your plate. That takes the stress and the drama and the burden of that weight of whatever they did to you off so you can move forward. I forgave my daddy years. I think I was like 18, 19 years old at a revival in Vallejo, California. And I remember the guy said, you know, the preacher at the time, what was his name? I can't remember it. Anyways, he said, you know, there's some people now that saying you're holding on to some things that are stopping you from going to the next level. They're stopping you from becoming the great person you're meant to be. And I felt that tug in my heart when he said, and I felt like it was me, and I felt like it was, you know, my hate for my dad, my hate for everything he put me through, and for not being there. So I went to the altar and I literally cast all my cares on that altar. I gave up all the hate, the anger, everything for my dad before he ever asked me to forgive him. And let's be very clear, he never did. My daddy never asked for forgiveness before he passed away, but he didn't have to because I had already forgave him in my heart because I wasn't going to let him hold on to my destiny. I wasn't going to let him and the burden of hating him keep me from becoming the greatest man or the greatest version of myself I could be, including being a great father. The reason I'm a good father today and I'm able to be there for my children is because I gave up that burden of one hating my dad. I gave up the expectation of expecting him to someday call me and ask forgiveness. And I met him where he was at. And where he was at was a sick old man about to die with a lot of regret in his heart. A lot of things he wished he didn't do, wish he could have did differently and things of that nature. So I went out there and I just loved him, my dad. Man, I loved the relationship he had with my son. And again, it was one of the things where I'm watching him play with my son at the time. I think my son was like 5 years old. And again, a little bit of jealousy rose up. Why? Because I never got that experience. I never got to play with my dad. I never seen my dad hold me. And, you know, on the phone, he called me baby boy and all this good stuff. And it's crazy because, y'all, I'm 44 years old. But as I talk about it, I go right back to that place of being that 6-year-old, wishing daddy would just hug him, love him, you know? But the difference is now I have there's a joy in my heart from it. I'm not sad no more. It doesn't depress me or make me stressed out. I love it because I know I made that, I finalized that. I found peace without him ever asking. And that's what I want to encourage all y'all. If you're listening, you're watching, check it out. No matter what you're going through, stop expecting your family, mom, dad, whatever, grandma, grandpa, whomever hurt you in your family, in your lifetime, Stop waiting for them to ask forgiveness. Stop waiting for them to change, or stop waiting for them to admit what they did was wrong, and just forgive them. But you're not forgiving them for them. And that's the crazy part. A lot of times we hold on to that hate, or we hold on to, not forgiving them, thinking that it's affecting them. These people are living their lives. Some of them are so messed up and been through so much trauma, they don't even know they hurt you. They don't know what they put you through. And they won't even claim it or accept it if you ever told them. So instead of waiting for them to change you or apologize or admit what they did was wrong, make a decision to forgive them for you, so you can move on, so you can grow from it. And when you make that decision, and I'm a faith man. I believe in God. So I get on my knees and I pray. And I ask God to take all that hate, all the hurt, all the trauma, everything that was inside of me out. Get it out of my heart. I always talk about a heart condition. I think a lot of people don't understand when I say this, but when you give your life to God and when you really get focused and serious about being the best version of yourself, the first thing you got to do is you got to literally almost have a spiritual heart transplant, right? You got to give up all the things that you loved and liked back in the day that was based on the flesh or based on hate or hurt or trauma. And you got to ask God to literally change your heart, to give you a new a heart condition full of love, where you just want to help and heal. I got so many people around the world that have hurt me, burnt me, talk crazy about me. Even right now, as I'm on this live, it's somebody talking negative. And to you, I say, shout out, man. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for your hate. Thank you for everything you did for me. But I want to be very clear. I don't hate you. Man, I forgive you. I'm good. And that's what we got to do, y'all. We got to literally have a spiritual heart transplant where we say, my heart and my peace is more important than the hate and the trauma that somebody put me through. So I'm willing to forgive them, not for them, but for me, so I can move on. Hey, man, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm very jealous of my kids, and I'm going to continue to be jealous of my kids because I'm going to continue to be there for my children and give them everything I didn't have. But this jealousy doesn't come with any negativity. It comes with nothing but joy, positivity, and love. I thank God for the opportunity to give my children everything they never got and everything I never got, and to continue to make myself jealous by being the best man and father I can be. Hey, it's your boy LB Johnson, man. It's a Shut Up and Talk podcast. Just taking a brief moment. Hey, we got a couple big interviews coming up real soon, y'all. So y'all stay tuned and make sure y'all share, follow, and like this on whatever social media platform